Everyone uses AI. Nobody knows what is actually happening inside it. Until now. God darn it. Training data, neural networks, embeddings. This is what is actually happening inside AI. Let's go.
God darn it, you think ChatGPT woke up one day and just knew what a wrench was like it was born in a Home Depot parking lot? No. It was force-fed the internet like a foie gras duck, and now it won't shut up about it. Training data is just all the junk AI studied before it ever met you. That's it. It's like meal prepping on Sunday so you can be lazy all week. Except instead of grilled chicken and broccoli, it's 10,000 Reddit arguments about whether a hot dog is a sandwich, and somehow from that, it learned to write your performance review. AI didn't wake up smart. Somebody fed it millions of examples first. Every unhinged Yelp review. Every humbled and honored LinkedIn post. Every recipe blog with a 4,000-word therapy session before the ingredients. It ate all of it. That's why it writes plumbing emails without Googling, what is pipe? It ate all of it. That's why I can write you an email about plumbing without Googling, what is pipe? It saw 10,000 passive-aggressive customer emails where someone typed, per my last email, with their whole chest. Now it can ghostwrite your fury while you go touch grass. The old way, teaching computers one rule at a time like a very stupid parrot. Now we dump a million examples and say, figure it out. That's training data. The internet dumpster buffet AI ate before it met you. Stop trusting it like it went to Harvard. It went to Reddit.
God darn it. You think AI is magic because it can write a haiku about your tax forms, but it's really just math that failed its way to genius. Like if a toddler tried to stack blocks a billion times and eventually built a skyscraper out of pure spite. A neural network is a web of tiny virtual switches that learn by being wrong so many times it should be illegal. It's your brain minus the part that forgets why you walked into the kitchen. You show it 10,000 photos of cats and eventually stops calling a toaster a cat. Then you show it something it's never seen before, a cat wearing a tiny hat, and it correctly says cat and does not even mention the hat because it understands the essence of catness, which is more than most people can claim. It's not memorizing, it's pattern recognizing at a scale that makes your ability to spot a typo in a restaurant menu look pathetic. Your email app does not know you. It's just noticed that you ignore everything from Derek but open every message from the person who emailed you about free bagels. The neural net saw that pattern 4,000 times and decided Derek is irrelevant, which made it both accurate and deeply satisfying. I'm sorry, Derek. Neural network lets you dump the examples and go. Stop trying to outrule a problem that math will handle faster while you go live your life. You ain't got to write rules like a choose your own misery novel, god darn it. God darn it. You just search budget spreadsheet and your computer gave you nothing because the file is named Q4 Financials Final. You named it. You're mad at yourself? This is a tragedy. An embedding turns words into math coordinates. That is it. But here's why it matters. It lets AI search by meaning, not by the exact letters you typed while you were panicking at 4:47 p.m. on Thursday. Your brain does not remember song lyrics word for word. You remember the vibe, the energy. Someone hums 3 notes of a song from 2007 in a grocery store and your brain doesn't do a character-by-character search. It just goes, oh, I know that, instantly. That's an embedding. Vibe coordinates. Now AI does the same thing. You type blue shoes and a regular search misses navy footwear and sapphire sneakers because it's stupid and literal like a genie who hates you. Embeddings map them close together in math space, meaning neighbors. The AI finds them all because it understood the assignment, not just the spelling. Embedding search drags everything from the 18 years of meeting notes piled in milliseconds because the math tastes the passive aggression. Stop Control F in your own chaos like a detective working a cold case from 2003. You're one bad file name away from a full identity crisis. Let embeddings find it by vibes before you rename another file, and then search by spelling. God darn it! You are playing a tech relay race. Taking a screenshot, uploading it to AI, number 1 for description. Copy that text, paste it into AI. Number 2, to ask a question about it. Then paste the answer into a Word doc like you're deciphering a spy's dead drop. Your workflow looks like a ransom note assembled in 7 browser tabs. Multimodal AI sees, reads, and hears all at once so you can throw a photo of a broken machine, a chart, and an Italian menu edit simultaneously and ask, what is wrong? Why is the revenue down, and can I eat here without dying? And it answers without you needing to be the middleman who translates everything like a United Nations translator for file formats. It's like having a friend who can look at your car engine, listen to the weird noise, read a maintenance manual, and say, hey, the belt is loose in 8 seconds, while you're still trying to find the hood release. It eats images, audio, video, text, all in one chat. No more, first describe the image, then ask about it. Just dump it all and go. I hope for your sake you're not screenshotting a graph, typing a description, uploading that, then separately asking about it, and then manually merging to answers, because that is not a workflow. That's a digital arts and crafts project that should come with safety scissors. Stop being the translator between file types. Multimodal means you talk to it like a person with eyes and ears, God darn it. God darn it. You're still typing. Make it sound casual but professional. Friendly but not too friendly. Confident but not arrogant. Into ChatGPT every single time like you're negotiating with a robot that has amnesia. Fine tuning is when you take an AI that already works and teach it your specific flavor once, so it stops being generic and starts being you. It's like teaching a parrot to say your catchphrases instead of screaming at every guest who walks in. You feed it your writing, your data, your unhinged email style, and it learns that. Now, when you say, write the client email, it just knows you start every sentence lowercase, use the word vibes unironically, and sign off with best, not sincerely, because you are not a pilgrim. While you're out here pasting the same please write in our tone paragraph above every prompt like you are the human appendix for an AI that should already know you, there's always that one person in the marketing who has not touched a prompt in months, but everything they send sounds perfect. That's because they trained the model once and moved on. Stop explaining yourself to a robot that should already know you better than your therapist. Fine-tune it once, and the AI finally stops asking if you want it to be friendly and just is friendly. God darn it! God darn it. You just click through 400 product photos like you're flipping through a Sears catalog from 1987 trying to find the one without a blurry background. And your mouse-clicking finger is one next button away from filing for disability. Computer vision is AI that actually sees what's in an image, so you don't have to manually eyeball everything. It's like having 1,000 interns with excellent eyesight and zero need for coffee, except they all exist inside your laptop. In the time it takes you to go get a bagel, computer vision tags your 2,000 images, sorts them, removes the one where Gary from accounting left a half-eaten burrito in the corner of the shot, and writes all text for all of them. You come back and it's done. No performance review required. Imagine throwing every receipt from a Decade edit and saying, find me every car wash expensed under travel cost by the guy who definitely knows better. A human would need therapy. Computer vision just flags them all in 8 seconds and asks if you want coffee. It doesn't ask, it just does it. What are you doing is refusing to accept that robots can see now and they're not impressed with your squinting. It's like punishing yourself for a crime you did not commit in a past life. Follow or subscribe for daily contents before your hand files grievance and you waste another Tuesday tagging photos like it's 1987, god darn it.
Everything in this episode is in the field guide. Grab it below.